Hi everyone, welcome back. Today on my channel, we're going to be making a peach Danish. I've got this recipe out of my Cuisinart bread maker manual. We're using the basic sweet dough cycle on here, just the dough cycle. And then we're going to be making some peach Danish after that. It's actually in the book as raspberry, but I'm just changing the filling to peach. So stay tuned for that. If you're new here, I hope you think about subscribing. And I really like those thumbs up. They help my channel to grow. So always give me a thumbs up, please. And hit the bell icon so you're notified of all the videos I upload. So let's get into making these peach Danish. Alrighty, we're going to get started on our basic sweet dough. And we're making a peach cheese Danish. I forgot to mention the cheese because we're using some cream cheese in the filling. So it's a peach cheese Danish. And it is in the recipe booklet, like I said, but it's under raspberry cheese Danish. Excuse my grand dog. She is here with me. So you can hear her every once in a while barking. Okay, so the first thing we're going to put into our pan for the basic sweet dough is the water. It is 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons, and that is room temperature. And hang on. You know, I've forgotten to use my paddle before. I, of course, remembered it. I don't remember which video it's in, but it happened to me. And I remembered it when it started mixing up, and I was like, oh no, it's not mixing very well. And then I was like, oh, I forgot to put my paddle in. So almost forgot again. Okay, so we got our paddle in. We have our water. The next thing we're going to add is our eggs. I have 2. It's been sitting out at room temperature. The next thing we'll be adding is our salt and our sugar. This the salt, I want to make sure I'm telling you this right, is a 1/2 teaspoon, and the sugar is 1/4 cup. So I just have them both in here. Dump those in. We're going to be adding 1/4 cup of sour cream. We're going to be adding a 1/2 stick of room temperature butter, which mine's been sitting out quite a while. It's very soft. I might just break that up just a couple chunks in there so it gets mixed up throughout pretty good. Okay. Grab me a towel. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to be adding is the bread flour. And it is 3 cups of bread flour. This is 1/2 cup measuring. Let me grab something here to level it off. So there's 1. I hope y'all are doing good out there today. I'm having a pretty good day. 2, getting my taste buds ready for some peach cheese Danish. This actually makes 2, like 2 stolons, and there's 3, whatever you want to call it. My husband and I will not be eating 2, so his guys at work, his crew will be getting at least 1 of these, probably 1.5. Okay, so let me just check I got everything. We have our water, eggs, salt, sour cream, butter, sugar, bread flour, and now 2 1/4 teaspoons of bread yeast. One, 2, and 1/4. That leaves about, looks like a 1/2 teaspoon left in here. Now, just to give you a little tip, These are such nice jars. You can hardly find, well, not hardly, but it's hard to find certain things in jars anymore. Things that used to come in jars, they now come in like cartons. Things that used to come in metal jars, say like your spices, those nice little metal jars, plastic. So if you come across stuff in jars, I'm always like, how can I repurpose that glass? And I just soak these labels. They come off pretty easily, and I soak them, and I just use them for little jelly jars, or you can use them for little anything. Store a little bit of nuts in here, bolts, like in your garage. Store tacks, paper clips, whatever, Um, but I mean, I kind of use them for like little gifts, little gifts of jelly or things like that. But anyway, you don't hear me go on and on about a jar. Okay, so we're going to get this in our bread machine. And we're going to choose the dough cycle. While that is going, we have lined 2 cookie sheets with parchment paper or baking sheets. Set those aside. We're going to make our cream cheese filling. Hope you can hear me over that going. Hope my battery didn't die in my... Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to prepare the cream cheese filling by adding, I have 6 ounces of cream cheese. Hopefully it's softened enough. It's been sitting out a little while. I'm going to add that to the bowl. We're going to add 1 egg. I usually crack my eggs over a bowl just to make sure there's nothing in there I don't want. That one looks all right. We're going to be adding a teaspoon of vanilla. Makes me happy. The recipe actually calls for 3/4 teaspoon. You know me, I love to bump it up. Okay. And then we're going to be adding 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar. Alrighty. And then there's a little drip left in there. Whoop, there it went. And then we're going to beat this. Oh, it needs a little salt, it says. So it's just a pinch of salt. Let me grab some salt. Excuse me for the reach. Let's just do... Let's say that's a pinch. Okay. We're going to beat this till it's smooth. Then we're just going to set it in the fridge until we're ready for it with our dough. It says to do this in a food processor until it's smooth. I don't have a food processor, so we're going to make it work with a mixer. I think that'll work just fine. My good old Sunbeam hand mixer. I've had that for, not a huge amount of years, but probably, I would say maybe 8 years. Still works really good. I don't see that kind anymore. I mean, I still see the brand Sunbeam, but I think now it's like white and black, like the old-fashioned stand mixers were. I think that's pretty good. So it says to let this chill and be in the refrigerator until our dough's ready. So we're going to sit it in there. Okay, it says to remove the dough. It says to divide it in half. You know me, if you've been watching a while, I'm not very good at equal parts. So let me get out my bench scraper. Use that for a cutter. Okay. It says we're going to roll each one of these out. I'm going to put just a touch of flour, I think. It says about a 10 by 14. So about, looks like this dough might need to rest. When you try to roll it out and it just comes back at you like that, it probably needs to rest a minute. So I think I'm going to cover it and let it rest a minute. Okay, let's see if we can do this. $10 by 14, huh? You know what? I can't make it any bigger than my cookie sheet is longer, so we're going to just go with that. So I'm about the length it can be. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to make it a little bit. This end's pretty square. This end is not. Get some pushed over this way to make this end square. Just kind of got to make it what you want it. Get it how you want it. I think that looks good enough. So we're going to lay that one there. I don't look like tin anymore, but we're going to do this one. I think we're good. Okay, so you're supposed to take the cream cheese filling. I hope this sets up more when it's in baking, because that still looks pretty runny to me. But it says put it down the middle. My husband came home and came in, and now the grand dog is crying because he went back outside. Her misses her papa. So it says put it down the middle. The length of the dough, so that's what we're doing. I'm just going to kind of make it even down each one. Let's see what we got over here. Like I said, I've never made these before, so just we'll learn together. And when you make yours will probably be better than mine because you'll know what to do differently. So I'm going to scoop this out onto each one of these. Oh, Remy, stop. Goodness. I've been here all day with you. I'm not good enough. Okay. I think we're going to go with about that width, I think. Does that look good to everybody? You said yes? Okay, we'll go with it. Then on top of the cream cheese mixture that we just did, we're going to do, which I'm going to do, my peach jam. That on one of my videos, you will see that I made peach jam. So you're supposed to drop some, or you can use raspberry, which what it calls for. Strawberry, I guess whatever particular filling you like. Blueberry would be good in here. I also have some blueberry jam frozen. Put a little up there, a little there, a little down here. Get a little bite of jam, right? I got 2 jars set out. I didn't know exactly how much it would take, so we will see. It looks like I'm going to have to get into the second jar anyway. For sure. We want it to taste like peach. I guess you could just leave it cream cheese too, if you wanted to do that. Like I said, you're Danish, make it your way. All right. Get this the rest of the way filled in here. And then the fun part comes because it's telling me to cut some sides off and twist it and braid it or something. I don't know. So we'll learn together, I guess. Just keep adding, don't I? Okay. Stop, Debbie. It's good. We're going to go with that. So these are the directions. Cut a 1/2 inch wide strip on either side of the dough, cutting from the edge of the dough to the edge of the filling. Fold the tops together, making an X. Then we're going to preheat our oven. I think I could have went wider with this stuff because a 1/2 inch, I don't think that's very much. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Leave me a comment. Let me know what I did not understand, what I could have done differently. If you have constructive criticism for me, that's fine. Just don't be mean about it. So there's one strip. 2. See if I got these cut. It has been raining here all day long. We were supposed to have a parade in our county today that we have every year to start our fair for this county, but they had to cancel it because of the rain. Now I know they mean like do the ends together like that. And then you're going to connect it to this little bit of dough up here. So I got that part. And then you're going to crisscross over your dough. I mean, over your filling. I'll get it out here in a minute. That's kind of pretty. I wonder if, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know. I really think I probably shouldn't be thinking because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna admit it to you. My oven's ready. It hasn't even doubled in size yet. I got to set this over there and get it rising. So this looks really pretty, what I did here. Am I supposed to squeeze it on here like this? I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull it over to the edges, each side like this. We're just going to make our own little design here, aren't we? Yeah, I think we are. We're going to tuck that in there, pull this one over, tuck it on this piece of the dough over here, pull this over. You know, I'm going to make my own design. And we hope it'll be wonderful, right? Like I said, they always might not be a looker, but I should have done it on the pan. Don't you do it on your counter. Do it on your pan, as I just come to realize. So, let's get this under here and get it on our pan. Watch the magic. This is a very entertaining video, right? Back up. Yes, put it on your pan first, Deborah. I don't think I better attempt to move this one before I do the same thing that I did to that one, or I'll have this stuff all over the countertop. You know what it didn't say? It didn't say any cinnamon, but I think I'm going to sprinkle a little cinnamon on top too. Give it a little extra cinnamony spice. Like I said, I have no idea. There's no picture in that book, so I like my recipe books to have photos, so I know what they're supposed to look like. All right. She's gonna not be a looker. We know that. We know that. We know it already. Hers not gonna be the prettiest, but it's gonna be tasty. We're gonna count on that being tasty. I'm gonna pinch the corners up just so we don't lose none of our good cream cheese stuff. It looks like it's trying to ooze out right now. Went over and got my cinnamon. I'm gonna sprinkle a little cinnamon on here. Actually, we'll just sprinkle the cinnamon on. We're gonna let it rise. Then we'll do the egg wash before we bake it. Let's do the cinnamon now. Let's get them covered and then they can rise. Probably it's going to take at least, I would say 40 minutes to rise. And it said 40 minutes to bake also. So I'm going to get these over there in a warm place and we'll be back. I forgot to show you when they rose, and they weren't even this big. This is through the oven door. Whoa, they're getting huge. I put the egg wash on and popped them in. I also wanted to show you, didn't do it on camera, but I have made some glaze. Just probably a cup of powdered sugar. I did some hot water and a little vanilla and a touch of cinnamon and stirred it around, and that's our glaze that we have. Depending on how thick you want it, if you want it more like icing or do you want it more like a glaze, you can add more powdered sugar. I have showed you on camera to make this before on my apple ham pies video, so you can look on there, but I will have the recipe along with the peach cheese Danish recipe in the description box. Okay, they just came out of the oven. They don't look too bad. I'm gonna get them on a cooling rack and let them cool, and then I'm gonna drizzle them with the glaze and we'll give it a taste. Okay, they're cooled off. I'm gonna drizzle some glaze on them. All right, we had to take a pause. I put them in my little Rubbermaid things. This one didn't quite fit. You see, I had to cut the end off. It was a little longer. I'll just have to eat that one. That'll be what I'll try for my taste test. So we're going to just drizzle this on. Across there like that. It may not need anything. You could probably eat it just without anything on it at all, but we're going to just put this on. Because what's the matter with more sweetness and goodness in our life? Nothing. And then we're going to do the other one. And they look really pretty. For my first time ever making them, I think they turned out wonderful. And like I said, I know they're going to taste great, so I think that's good. Enough of the drizzling. Let's do the tasting. There's the piece that I had to cut off. Okay. I've got messy fingers. The cream cheese is a little sweet, I guess because of that powdered sugar I put in there, obviously. And the peach jam, I did get a little piece of peach. I really like it. Now, next time I'll know exactly how to form it a little better. I don't know what else I would do differently. I love the taste of that peach and that cream cheese together. Delicious. And the cinnamon touch that I put on there, you definitely, if you make this with the peach, you definitely need to put the cinnamon on there. Really, really good. So I hope you try this recipe. I'll have it in the description box. And until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.